Okay, we'll see. We'll see. It's written in the book. Hey, hi. Hey there, hi there, ho there. I'm as happy as can be. Elaine Marolakos Edelson here with Astrology Mojo. I want to help you get your mojo back. So today we're going to continue the yod talk, and we're going to add some elements to it. So please come and join me. Now, if you are new to me and you don't know that I say that the planets in astrology don't make you do anything, that we live in a cooperation with the cosmos, so that when the planets make a move, you feel it. When you make a move, it's reflected by way of aspects and angles in astrology, because we live in a continuum, and on that continuum, many streams of light, energy, and vibration. So there's nothing that dictates to you except you. We have a relationship with everything that is in our world, and the vibration that you output toward a thing will then create a frequency, a belief system, a pattern, perhaps over time, if that thing becomes big to you, positive or negative. And that you are the one who creates the relationship. It's not the thing out there that tells you what to do or how to feel. So keep that in mind as we talk about astrology, and we are going to do that today. We are going to talk about the yod, as I was talking about in Monday's show. I want to continue that conversation because now I'm going to broaden it to where do you feel powerless, but not just that, but are you ready to ignite that part of you that is powerful? And if you are, let's get a move on. Let's get a move on, little doggy. So, okay, let's talk about the Perseids for a second. We stood outside the 11th, 12th, and 13th. Today's the 13th. So I went outside on the 11th and looked up, holding my neck back. And I saw 3, but it took an hour, and I'm falling asleep, and it's 20 after 10 my time, and I just... it's like, I gotta go to bed. Give me something big. So a huge one went from, they're essentially coming from, most of them, depending on what time of day or night that we see them or not, but coming from the Pegasus constellation. My people. Pegasus and Andromeda. And so when, I was like so excited because it puts you into context. And Dean and I went out last night, and it was about 10 after 10. We were holding hands, standing in our driveway. Where? There's one. And he was turning that way, and I was that way. He saw one. And I was like, where? And then I turned, and I saw one. He was like, where? So we got to see a few. Not as many as we were hoping. What's 100 an hour? I want to see pew, 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 pew. Yeah, it didn't happen. Well, maybe tonight. I'm just giving it, one last glimmer of hope. Hi, Christine. Hey, Elizabeth's here. Come say hello. I'm playing with all my crystals today. I had a slow start this morning. Good sleep last night, but a slow start. And so when we talk about the yod today, I want you to chime in. I want you to participate a little bit more and talk to me about where you don't feel powerful, what's the same topic of conversation, and what's the vibration you're putting on something. What's the vibe that you're putting on something? Because if you go to work or you are at home or you go to the supermarket or you're doing whatever you're doing and you have an attitude, that attitude projects a vibe. And that vibe literally comes right back at you in ways that you say, see, told ya. Told ya I had no power. Told ya. Told ya they annoy me. Told you it wouldn't get done on time. Told ya. So, what are you needing to prove, really? What's going on? Hi, Tammy's here as well. So come say hello. We are talking about the yod, and we talked about it on Monday, and the yod is a configuration in astrology that, and let me show you the screenshot we have set up for today. Okay. Can you see that? Is it big enough for you here? Let me just make it a little larger. Okay. So as you can see, the yod is the purple triangle with the blue, the purple and the blue. And what it does is it sets up 150 degrees on either side and 60 degrees across the bottom. So 60 degrees in astrology within 8 degrees is a sextile, and it's considered with ease, comfortable, positive, supportive. The 150 degree angles are considered a lot more challenging, incongruent. Something's bothering you. Something's not working the way you want it to. So let's just look at astrology in terms of each of the planets represents a part of you. And the sun and the moon, of course, are not planets, but as celestial orbs, they represent a part of you and your world. They are not dictating terms. They do nothing to you. They don't, well, except the sun and the moon, okay? I'm talking about the planets. They don't do anything to you to make you do or not do in your life. Are we clear on that? Okay? This has to be like the foundation of your understanding. Oh, okay. I'm going to come back to the planets and what they're doing. So on the last show, I just talked about, how to go from crappy to happy. And then I called out to my husband, let's go buy that URL. So we did. Go from crappy to happy.com. We own it now. And in September, at some point, I'm hoping to, I'm working on getting the masterclass ready for you. And there's 2 versions of it. The first launch will be for personal use. So it's just DIY. You do it yourself. It's all contained. Have fun. That'll be coming up soon. And then the next version will be with me included. But Go From Crappy to Happy is an event I'd like to do in Facebook. And it would be a private event, a nominal entrance registration fee. And so we're working on the details of that. And that's where I will personally answer your questions more and more in depth for what you are undergoing. All right? So let's be on the lookout for that. We're going to go from crappy to happy. I just had to get that. How could you not, right? Isn't that funny? All right, so let's look now at astrology. So there's Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn. Now, if you see the red squares right here, all to Mars. Ooh, that does not feel good. Mars and Aries. Mars represents your need to act, your need to do something new, spontaneous combustion. And also, it deals with the blood system, your head, sometimes ears, eyes. It's a combination with Neptune for the eyes and vision. But, the Neptune area covers the vision of the third eye, the celestial vision. But Aries is designated for the head, keeping it safe, and instant or spontaneous ideas that come along. Okay. And then in Aries is the natural placement, because Aries is guided by the planet Mars in astrology. But is it doing something to you? No. But when I look at this, it's like looking at a lab report and going, oh, looking at a blueprint going, oh, they are ready. They're ready for something and they don't feel good about it. They're gearing up. They, meaning you, are gearing up for what's the thing that's really bothering me? And with Pluto especially squaring Mars, that tells me that the uncomfortable but necessary engagement of what Saturn says, who's the boss? And Pluto with Mars is saying, where's my power? I want to use it right now. But you see the red RXs, those are the retrogrades. And the retrogrades are the part of you that's saying, okay, you know what? You know something is ready. You want to launch like a rocket ship, but the elements are not all in place. Something is out of focus or frame right now. Something is not ready. So, and that doesn't mean don't give your all to something. So you want to watch the extremes when you hear, when you listen, okay, to anything, not just me. But nothing ever starts or stops on a dime in the universe. Everything's constantly moving. You are a frequency, and you have many output streams of light, streams of energy, streams of unconscious, conscious, non-conscious vibes that say, yeah, I want to go do this thing, or no, I don't feel ready at the same time. Or maybe there's just one more thing, or yeah, I don't know enough about it, but let's just try it. So there's a lot of mix of ready to go, not ready to go. My hair is tickling me. So when I look at, okay, what's the Ready Player One? I love that book, Ready Player One. Okay, the movie, they could have used different, anyway, it doesn't matter. But Ready Player One, okay? You've got your gear on. It's like you're suiting up. Teachers are suiting up to say, this isn't working and this is going to cause harm. Other teachers are saying, I got to figure out a way to do this via technology. So we are going to be talking about Uranus in Taurus. And on August 15th, it goes retrograde. See, look at the date that we have on this chart. We are August 13th today, but it's going to move into retrograde. So it's about what you value. Where's your power? And what do you want to let go of? What is it that you cannot control? Because you can't control anything. You have the ability to feel something and then express it. You have the ability to focus on something and create it, make it real, make it tangible. You have that ability. But where the outside world is concerned, you don't. You just don't. So let's understand this point of manifestation, okay? That you have power in what you're working toward, what you're working on, as far as you are concerned. But you can't make them call you back. You can't make them email you right when you need them to. You can't make them sign on the dotted line. You can't make them give you that paycheck you've been wanting, or hear you, or even take the time to understand you. You cannot do that. What you can do is focus on who you are and what's going on here. All right. Does that make sense so far? I'm going to check in real quick. I'm just going to mute this screenshot for a minute. This is my new background. I'm still going with the Jane Austen theme, so yeah, that's what, okay, that's what I'm doing. So who's here? So we have Teresa. Hi, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you as well. Elizabeth, you hit it. It usually a piece of writing I've promised just doesn't get done when it said it would. And then I feel like, it's just not, I'm not enough. Well, we know that's not true. Francis, Christine, ooh, that sounds awesome. I don't know what that refers to because we have a 10-second delay, but I'll just say, yeah, it does, doesn't it? Hey there, Deb is back as well. Rhonda, we don't have the stuff to make pancakes yet. Why not? Isn't it annoying? Hi, Sage. Isn't it annoying when you want to get something done and you just don't have all the ingredients? But here's something you can focus on. All right, this is really key. So please understand this. The vibration that you have in any moment that you have it is where you are. We get it? So now you have the power to go to the next moment by paying attention to, the goal. What's the goal? Well, I want to feel better. I'm hungry. I want to eat, or I need to get a job, or I have some, stuff. I just need to feel it, and then eventually let it go. So whatever you're doing, whatever you're focused on, you have the power to do these things. You just have to pay attention. Instead of vaulting out of bed or out of your chair and saying, that's what I want. And I'm going to, make 17 phone calls and 3 emails and, okay, well, it's only been an hour and I haven't heard from them. What did I do wrong? Or maybe it's just not the time. Or maybe it's like, maybe the universe is closing doors on me. How many times I've heard that? Universe is closing doors on me. The universe responds to your vibration. It is a cooperative vibration, meaning it mirrors you. So if there's any part of you that says, oh yeah, I want to go get that job, I'm really not qualified. Which vibration do you think is going to come your way? Both. I have to work on my relationship with my spouse, my partner, my lover. But the past ones, it's like, oh God, why do I keep attracting people who don't step up? It's not about them. It's your vibration that is attracting the people who don't step up. Does that make sense? Do we understand? Liz, that is so true. Hi, sweetie. Hello, my darling. Every once in a while I want to lapse into accents that I've heard, watching the British Baking Show or Indian Matchmaker. I love that show. And I keep coming back to Rosie. I default to Rosie. Oh, yes, I'm going to crack some eggs. It's just amazing what you can do. But, if you fold them in too soon and you put the hot liquids in, then, they're going to spoil. So, I hear these accents in my head. I don't know. I have the power. I've got the power. Right. Bright and cheery background. Love it. Yay. Hooray. Thank you. I needed to go Jane Austen because life was simple then. No, it wasn't. It was harder. Okay? And I appreciate the difficulty that women have in trying to make their lives simpler. So keep on the lookout, people, because we're trying to figure out, I got to hire somebody to help me configure Facebook so that I could create a minimal paid event called Go From Crappy to Happy. That's where I give my attention to you on one question, my full attention. Not just random like I am here, but this is still great information. So please listen. Okay. The yard in astrology is not the backyard. It's the place that you go to. Wait a minute. Screenshot. You see the purple triangles? Okay. 150 degrees. And now by August 15th, it's where you go when you have been trying to do that thing, or life happens when you're working on manifesting a goal. Life happens. Now, we live on a planet with billions, right? So we feel all that energy all the time. There's only so much you can acknowledge, or else you implode and then you would explode. And that's like a David Lynch movie. Or, I don't know, My Hero Academia cartoon. So we want to look at how, and I'm looking at my notes right now. Where is your lack of harmony? And if it's in something that that you are responding or reacting to, as something's happening out there, like, oh, I knew somebody who got sick from COVID and, my wishes are with them. I hope they're doing well. There's not a whole lot you can do. You can put love into the world. You can surround them with pink light. It's up to them to take it, however. We cannot force who we are on people. That doesn't work. It's been proven over time in war and massacres that one power that comes to rise will match another power that wants to contradict it. It doesn't end. So you got to turn it around and put the power back into your hands, in your mind, and in your body. Okay, my hair is doing a little frizzy thing. Does that make sense? All right. So what I want to see you do now, let's look at, hang on. Here we go. Now we see that Venus is the brightest star right now in the heavens. So when you look up at night, if you don't have too much ambient light from a city, Venus is going to be the brightest star, and next to it on one side is going to be Jupiter. And what I think, and that's because it's the closest to the Earth for many hundreds, thousands of years. So, take a look. But Venus is in the constellation of Cancer right now, right next to the moon. And so there's a sense of family unitedness. Is that a word? Wanting to be part of the healing instead of the problem. Really going in to say, I know I can do this. And I just have to work. Saturn says you got to work. Not really. Unless you love it. I'm a Capricorn rising. I love to work. Okay. Because work to me is joy. It means progress. It means service. My sleeve is stuck to my chair. I'm sorry for all this fidgeting. So now we've got positive angles from Venus in Cancer, Moon in Cancer, and the Moon is transitory. So it's just like these are the inner planets. Mars, although Mars will be in Aries for 6 months. Usually doesn't spend that long in any one constellation, but now it's like fire up, people. Ready Player One. And many of us feel like we have to battle evil or injustice. Okay, we want to be careful of that. Up to you, totally. But instead of thinking I have to fight the system, I have to suffer fools, let's think I'm going to move energy. I'm going to work it like Dr. Strange. I am just going to move energy. Because the only power you have, remember, is what you do in here. So if you're feeling something, sad, angry, frustrated, happy, doubtful, mistrustful, neutral, then feel it. And if you choose not to feel it, as that starts to fade, your brain can only understand one thing at a time that you give it, right? So you can't be happy and sad at the same time. It feels like you can be, but what you focus on is what you give power to, right? You've heard this before. I'm not the first to say this. This is an ancient concept. This is a metaphysical concept of how to move biology with energy, how to combine it. Now, if you need assistance, if you need certain nutrients, if you are dehydrated, if there's a chemical response that's not firing, that's why we have medicine, we have allopathic, we have holistic, we have homeopathic, we have herbal, we have all kinds of things that can assist. We have crystals, you got what you need. You have the package. So instead of thinking, I got to go out there and get them to change their business because it's pissing me off, you got to stop and go, okay, when's the last time I felt this way? Because it's going to point, the yod points to where you feel powerless. Does that make sense? Shelby, my Lion Gate reading goes with this. Basically, big, bold vision with some patience. What you want wants you. So, yes. And so you have to understand that the mirror that comes to you is what you are projecting. It's like a house of mirrors. Oh my gosh, I was 5 years old. And my parents, we had enough money to go on one vacation every summer for 1 week to South Jersey. And we stayed in this walk-up apartment. I remember how hot it was. There's no air conditioning. And the pool was a saltwater pool. And they took us to an amusement park right next door. And there was a house of mirrors. Okay, you put somebody like me in a house of mirrors. Wow. Let me tell you, I started seeing things. It scared the crap out of me because I was 5 and my sister was like, okay, I'm supposed to hold your hand and take you in, but I know my way around. She was 7. So she went and left me. And all I did was turn around and see me and me and me and me and me and me and me until I felt so literally out of my mind that I tinkled in my pants. I did. It was so sad. And then I started crying. Like, I don't understand this. I see me everywhere. And me is trying to help me And all I see is the expression on me, and it was terror. So of course, my body responds to seeing terror in every reflection, and I become terror. And then I freeze, and I can't move. And the guy had to come in and get me out. And I saw that it's like my heart broke. The guy said to my father, "I'll give you your $1 back." And he handed my father the $1. And then I just kind of stood there feeling like, I don't know what just happened to me, but it's like that scene in The Avengers when when Loki gets whipped into shape across concrete by the Hulk. That's what it felt like. So, that was my first lesson in mirror work. So now, if you have an experience that you can't quite grip, you don't understand, I've been working so hard, How come it's not coming? Why can't I keep a relationship? Why can't I get a relationship? Why can't I keep that job? Why can't I live in the city I want to live in? Why can't I make the money I want to make? Why can't I do the thing? You can. But let's look at it from a different perspective. And that's what the yod is showing you. It's like, where's your power? It's on the inside. All right, I just gave you the Dorothy from Oz answer. Click your heels 3 times, Glenda said. And it's like, what? Can you imagine Dorothy today? Yeah. That witch, she had me running. She could have told me from the get-go. I had to find out for myself that I had it in me all along. I don't take kindly to that. It's like you start to get upset. What am I supposed to do? Wow, I've been receiving Doctor Strange visions the past week. That's what Tammy says. You got to move it. Rikara's here. I'm here. Well, we're so happy that you're here, and we want to thank Rikara because she does COVID testing all day long, and she's got little ones. Thank you, Rikara, for your service. When you have a thing you can't get to, and I see this, and we're going to talk about Uranus in a hot second. But why does my light keep changing? I don't understand. I try to set it up. Okay. You have more energy focused on something that bothers you than you do on the thing that you want. But then if you put too much energy, this is what the universe is saying to you, right? You're saying, wait a minute, let me get this straight. I have Jane Austen memo pad. I do. Oh, see, did you see that turn? Oh, it fixed it. Thank you, Jane. It's like, I have the book of rules. And the universe says, if I want something, I have to focus on it. But if I focus on it for too long, I won't get it. And then I focus on the things that I don't get, and that makes me mad. And if I focus on being mad, then I can't get what I want. I don't get it. Okay, so here's the thing. And it's so simple. When you are feeling what you're feeling, feel what you feel. Just feel what you feel. But if it feels less than neutral, if it feels negative, if it feels judgmental, frustrated, angry, you got to feel the feeling first. We do not linger, Mars says. The part of you that is Mars says we do not linger on the feeling unless that feeling makes you feel expansive and gives you freedom. Uranus in Taurus, freedom. You got to value what you're feeling. You must value what you're feeling in the moment you're feeling it. That is step 1. Check that box. Okay? Then you give energy to the thing that you're creating. My phrase that I've been saying for years and years and years, and basically to Gemini, every sign gets a phrase from me. And Gemini gets, I'm done, it's not done. Because that's their cue to stop forward momentum on something that gives them nothing. But I'm going to apply it now to everybody. You're washing dishes. You're writing emails. You're writing out bills. Yes, things need to get done in this world. They just do. So you get to a point of, I'm done. I'm so tired. But you don't stop. You keep going. Okay, now if you have a baby, if you are caring for an elder, if you are in a job that requires attention, so the machine doesn't shut down and 74 people don't get electrocuted or drown or whatever, you can't be done. But, so we're going to segment that. But in your daily life, you're doing your thing, you're food shopping, and you're like, I don't want to be here anymore. Then you're done. It's not done. You're done. Does that make sense? Okay? So just be that. You are here. Here, planet Earth. You are here. Be here. That's all I got to say. Now, let's talk about the people who are doing stuff. They're in a job. They're caring for someone. They are in the middle of fixing, oh my gosh, the power went out, or with the we're sweating, the baby's crying. You just can't be done. Then it's your job to find a way, and it's not that hard, to find a way not to complain. We got to switch the energy and focus on something that gives you joy. Like if you need a screwdriver and you have a screwdriver to fix that thing so that they aren't uncomfortable, whatever. Let's be grateful for the screwdriver. You see the shift in energy? Do you understand that? That's what we're looking at. That's what you need to do right now. You want to power up? You see this? 60 degrees. 60 degrees between Neptune and Jupiter and Pluto. But also 150 degrees to the Sun and Mercury. So what are you thinking about? Where are you putting your thoughts, your energy, your time, your focus? On the things that bug you? Yeah. All right, if you're old enough, you'll understand this reference. Judy Holliday. So I shot him. Okay, then let's talk about Uranus. Baby, I will check in. Come say hello to me. If you're just joining us or you're watching this in a replay or on YouTube, Elaine Marolakos Edelson here with Astrology Mojo. I want to help you get your mojo back. So we're talking about powering up. We're going to power up. Now, the yod, I just love the word, goes through August 17th, noon Eastern time. But it doesn't mean it still doesn't apply, right? Okay, now we've got Uranus. For the next 6 months, or through, I sound like Forrest Gump, next, Jupiter through Jupiter, doesn't even make sense. When Uranus is retrograde, starting on August 15th, it'll go, I don't even have the exact stats, but I think it's through January of 2021. It's in the sign of Taurus. That's, that alone, Uranus represents your freedom, rebellion. I don't give a who's it, what's it. So you can take that job and you know where to put it. But it also represents higher technology, space, the final frontier. No, it goes on. It also represents astrology. It also represents the space between your thoughts, the thought, the action, the result. So Uranus guides Aquarius, a little astrology lesson. Uranus guides Aquarius. And Uranus in the past has been depicted as the water bearer, usually a man. We're updating our technology. We're updating our definitions now too. Uranus is the non-specific gender human being that represents the currents of transformation. Currents, wind, water, electricity. Okay? You heard it here first. We need to upgrade the definitions. As we change, so do the definitions. When astrology came to this earth thousands of years ago from our starseed neighbors, they wanted to give us tools to help us understand ourselves. And crops, look, Mars is on the horizon. There might be war. Jupiter is overhead. There could be an abundance of rain, but now it applies to who you are and what you want to get up and do with your life, right? Okay, so now Uranus in Taurus. Uranus represents the electric voltage that gets you off the chair. So you can say, I need some freedom in my life, in my world, in my hair color, in my choices. Now, Taurus says, okay, let's just hang on, right? So Uranus is like already in the car, revving the engine. And Taurus is like, wait a minute. Let me get the snacks. We need the map. Do we have pillows in case you want to take a nap? So you have to value what you're taking with you to the next moment. And you're going to go quickly. So if you're having difficulty understanding, well, how come I didn't get that job? How come I'm, like Elizabeth said, I sit down to write, it's not happening. My mind is over there. Okay, well then we don't want to create, and I've talked about this in videos and blogs before I was even on Facebook, the resistance that you have to anything. I'm done, it's not done. I'm done, it's not done. But okay, so you have to temper that, right? You have to be smart about it. You have to say, well, I'm so tired, but that has to I just have to finish that because it's due. The paper you were writing for school or, the diapers you were cleaning for the baby, if you use natural diapers. We tried natural diapers. Yeah. Our kids screamed like bloody murder. Yeah. So we stopped. We had to use disposables, but no judgment. Okay. So, no matter what's happening, you have to give it the proper attention. Right? But then give yourself the time to process and integrate, because right now you can see the factions growing, right? Well, politically, we see the factions growing anyway. And then you see it with family. You'll see it with friends. The extremes start to show themselves like, oh my God, I have to do that. And then you wonder, well, why did it suddenly become a problem? What happened? And people wanting to get ahead and go faster, and they can't because they'll say, oh, COVID. And, and I told you the other day, my husband is reading a book, and I will read it next. It's about the pandemic in 1918. They didn't know what to call it, so they call it the flu. And so people took it lightly. And it spread across the world. There were dead bodies in the hallways because people didn't know how to bury people in apartment buildings were just dying like literally flies, like the mayfly has 4 hours. These people were just dropping down. And the government was saying at the time, Woodrow Wilson, the doctors were saying, okay, we got to quarantine. We got to not interact. We got to understand what this is. And Woodrow Wilson had an agenda to go to war. And so from my understanding, I haven't read the book yet, but he was like, yeah, we're fine. It's just the flu. Send them. Send the troops. And so our troops in America spread the disease into Europe. Millions of people died. Millions. So we're looking at something very similar now, right? So when and it's not to be afraid, it's to be aware. I want to be aware of, if I'm going into that space, out of courtesy to them, because I may have something other than COVID, I may have something brewing. I don't want to share it, and that's always been the case with me, but I never really wore a mask. I just wouldn't go out if I was sick, or I wouldn't invite people over if I were sick. But now we have to have a different awareness, and that awareness pushes you beyond what you think is your limit, because you want freedom from these restrictions. And then Taurus says, okay, wait a minute, for the next 6 months, or the next, what are we in? We're August, September, October, November, December, January, 5 months. For the next 5 months, we're going to be reevaluating our checklist. Do I really need to do that? Can I travel at some point? I have a trip booked in October to go visit my child. I'm so excited. And I'm going to be hanging out with Steve Nobel. I'm really excited. So these things that are happening, they want to squash your freedom. But at the same time, you're like, nobody's going to tell me I can't do that. So we want to look at what is that you really value? What do you value? What do you want to take action on? It's causing a lot of because of the retrogrades. And that, again, it's not that doing it to you. I'm looking at this saying, this is what's happening, right? So what do we got here? Teresa says, feeling Uranus energy in my rising sign, Taurus, already. I feel it. It's right on my sun. Right on my sun sign in Taurus. And just to be clear, Uranus is pronounced Uranus because it's a Greek word. That was my first language. And the word is Urano, and it means cosmos. Thank you. Little lesson in word origins. Elizabeth says, my resistance is in a 5th grade teacher trauma, more healing required. And you've healed so much around it. Great. So now, let's use that as a jumping off platform. Let's say the past is coming up because it always does unless you deal with it. And did you not know? Oh, yeah. Did you? Yeah. So let's use that as a little platform. Thank you, Elizabeth. That you will have a thing that has happened, crappy. Now you want to go to happy, right? From crappy to happy.com. We own it. Yeah. So what are you going to do about it? Well, you can write about that person. You can write, it's been 12 long years since my divorce. Not a day goes by when I'm not cursing that bastard. Okay, are we done? Because the more you put your focus on that, the more you close doors to new, evolving relationships. So you can write about it, and in a purge, get the crappy stuff out first, and then turn around and start thinking about going back as an adult. What would you say now to that person? Back then, imagine the little you sitting there, something is happening, and you're being abandoned, abused, molested, you're being negated, you're being yelled at, you're being minimized, you're betrayed, whatever the issue. And the little you is like contracting. Now the big you comes in from today and says, you put a hand on the little you's shoulder and says, okay, hang on just a second. Here's what I really want to tell you. So this might be a good thing to think about doing so that you can rework the memories because your brain doesn't know what's real or imagined. Tell me something good. Does that make sense? Okay. Yeah. It's pretty powerful. So I want to see you do this. I want to see you do this and then come back and report. I'll be back on Monday. Let me just double check. Oh, I was writing the November Sedona monthly forecasts. And so my calendar is open to another time, another day. Where are we? Who are we? What are we? I am an extension of the light. I exist here, now, everywhere. That was my original mantra when I woke up. Okay, so today is the first day of the rest of your life. Oh, it's the 13th. Time is flying big time. All right, so I'm back on Monday the 17th. I want you to move that crappy energy and then look for it. As soon as Dean and I figure out, and we'll hire somebody to do this, to set up an event in Facebook, it'll be a nominal fee, something very affordable. Then we're going to have a special closed event from crappy to happy. How to go from crappy to happy. And I will give you personalized attention. A lot more than what I'm doing here now. Does that make sense? So look for that. But in the meantime, I'll be back on Monday. I want you to take this next couple of days and really be present in as many moments as possible. And because just like the Uranus and Taurus, it's a time of reevaluation. You're regarding your freedom now. But freedom from what? It's not just material, because Taurus can be like, oh, I want that, but I can't have it because I can't afford it. So I have to get a job and earn some money, pay off my bills, and then get that thing. Okay, it's at that level, but I'm talking about the bigger level. I'm talking about the Uranus level. I'm talking about the cosmic level of I am powerful, but I don't need to exert it like a lightning bolt to get what I want, because then I create a polarity. And that polarity will always show you your resistance, the mirror. It's not happening, it's not happening, it's not happening. I'm trying really hard, I'm trying really hard. It's not happening, it's not working. Okay, then stop. I'm done, it's not done. Go find something that makes you happy. It could be lying down and you know, I don't know, stringing beads. Okay. Let me see. Any notes that I want? What's holding you back? I want you to ponder what's holding you back. What do you think is holding you back? Ponder that. Come back to me on Monday. I'll be here at the same time, same bat channel, 10 a.m. Pacific time and 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So be well, be sparkly. As always, I wish you peace. I'll see you on Monday.